What's up, everybody? I'm the Lawdog Brent Lawson, and I'm here with Rebel Mike, one half of the HCWA Tag Team Champions, and this is the first episode of Shootin with the Lawdog since COVID-19 has hit. How you doing, Rebel Mike?
Doing good. Glad this thing's about over with.
I am too. Someone just told me the other day that Northern and Virginia is getting ready to do the no mask thing. So I'm hoping all that can go around anywhere, because I'm sick of wearing a mask looking like a bandit everywhere I go.
Yeah, we're hoping by what the governor says, the beginning of next month, we'll be able to start going some more without masks.
I certainly hope so. Let's get right into Shootin with the Lawdog. All right, Mike, how old were you when you knew you wanted to be a professional wrestler?
Well, when I knew I wanted to be, I always had the dream, because my grandfather, I'd sit and watch wrestling with my grandfather, you know, see the old time greats, Johnny Weaver, George Becker,
The Briscoes,
Hammer, Greg the Hammer Valentine. Then it's a funny story the way it actually happened. As we was at Christmas dinner one day, and my uncle brought his in-laws, which happened to be George Becker.
Oh wow!
Part of him and Johnny Weaver. And so he was telling stories, and you know, as a kid, I started eating it up. So then I started watching more wrestling.
So that was your deciding factor?
Yeah, I wanted to do it, but I didn't know how to do it. Didn't know who to get in touch with. Well, I was about 16 years old, 15, 16. Was leaving my grandfather's house, and I yell at my mama and scare her to death. She about wrecks the car. I seen Manny Fernandez, the
Raging Bull.
So I look at her and say, "Mama, Mama, Mama." And I was like, "Look, it's the Raging Bull." She said, "Yeah, and?" "Yeah, and?" Well, the guy she played music with, Willie Clay, he's part of NWA, original Jim Crockett and all. She said, "Yeah, probably." I was excited. She didn't act nothing about it. So we pulled in there, got to talking. I racked his ears off. You know, I marked right on out, because, you know, I didn't know anything about the business except what I see on TV. He said, "Well, I'll tell you what I'll do, young man." He said, "You show me you're going to graduate, and I'll train you." Well, from then on, I was straight. I made sure I made straight A's.
Honest student.
Yep. So at the age of 17, it's the first time I ever crawled in a square circle, and I'm 51 now, so that makes it 34 years.
Who were your favorites growing up, and who was your influences?
Manny was one of my favorites. God, you talking about Greg the Hammer Valentine? You talking about Jimmy Garvin?
Roddy Piper? Superfly
Snooker, yeah. And actually, I met him in person before I ever got into wrestling. Dusty Rhodes.
Oh man, the dream, if you will.
You know, it goes on and on. I can't say I ever had a perfectly favorite.
The Andersons.
Yeah, you had the Andersons. You had even beginning of the Andersons.
Oldie and
Gene. And, you know, that's just what I grew up on. I grew up on old stuff. Everybody asks me, "Oh, you watch wrestling now?" I don't really watch it now, because it's not the same anymore.
It's not the same. It's not the same. Ring of Honor is just about as close to old school wrestling as you can get.
Yep.
They don't have any talk shows. They don't have any
I'll catch some AEW
dancing.
every once in a while.
Well, AEW, you know, is pretty darn close too.
Yeah.
You know, and Impact, I know I get a lot of heat for liking Impact, but you know, I stick to my guns. People thought they were going to fold, and
Yep.
they're still going strong. And now they got the working relationship with AEW, which is revolutionary in wrestling.
Yep.
To have two major companies working together, and they're going to make it, and they're defying the odds.
Yeah.
So, all right. So you mentioned this earlier, so I guess Manny Fernandez trained you.
Manny and Willie Clay trained me. It was out of CCW. And I know one of your questions is, where did I get my big start?
Yeah, that's next.
Was CCW. They seen a fat little kid who had heart, and they worked me as hard as they could work me. My first year in wrestling, they didn't even know who I was. I had to define the character.
You know what? And that's something a lot of people don't take the time to do now.
Yeah.
Is define a character. Whether you're a surfer dude like Sting started out, manifesting to the Crow character, you know, or whatever he wants to call himself, or Hulk Hogan being just Freddie Blassie's one somebody he managed to being, you know, the superstar that he became.
Right.
You got to create a character.
So, but yeah, that was one of their part of their thing is we trained. You trained every 3 days. I've seen more throw up on the sidewalk. I've seen it in my life. But we wrestled for the first year under a mask, and that was to define you. So like wrestlers today, they come out, if they make it, they make it. He made sure you made it.
Yeah. So you like lived up by the sword, die by the sword type
Right.
thing. All right. You've been in the business, you said 34 years. What all championships have you held?
I've held about every title there was, especially tag team. I've had, oh God, me and Outlaw Wayne Taylor. You're looking at 17 years.
Y'all been together 17 years.
17 years.
As a tag team. All right.
And we've held multiple. I've held multiple tag teams. The only title I've never held in my life, my wrestling career, is the World Heavyweight title. Not saying I can't do individual. I do, and I've won titles individual. It's just the tag team. When you got a chemistry, you don't break that chemistry up.
Oh, exactly. I was just watching the Dark Side of the Ring with, about Brian Pillman, and Austin was talking about the chemistry they had when they first met. It was two talents they didn't know what to do with, so they put them together.
Right.
He said, well, hell, Hollywood Blondes. He said Brian Pillman gave him the gold necklace he wore that he still has to this day. He says, so that was how they were made. Two wrestlers they didn't know what to do with. They put them together, and the rest is history.
Yeah, my baby brother, he wrestled with us in ESO. Well, before the fans turned us to ESO, it was Extreme Southern Outlaws, which we still are. But the fans just give us the shortcut, so we started using it. And that was my dad's dream, to watch me and my baby brother wrestle as a tag team.
Oh, wow.
And so when he joined Extreme Southern Outlaws, it was after my dad passed. But my dad was my biological dad. He'd go with me to wrestling matches. He managed my brother a lot. My brother went by Mad Dog Jake. Of course, we was always against each other, but you know that's the way it works. But yeah, my dad. Today's May 8th. You know, we got the wrestling match here in Wentworth. Today's a special day for me, but we won't discuss that right now.
All right. So my next question, which you have already answered, was how long have you been in the business? You said 34 years this weekend, right?
Yep. I started when I was 17 years old. 51 now. Been beat, battered, bruised, done some crazy stuff.
And you got the scars to prove it.
Scars to prove it. Had my shoulder done twice, my knee done once. But one thing I said, no, I don't have any regrets. I have no regrets.
All right. In that 34-year history, you have bound to work just about everywhere. How many different promotions have you worked for?
At one time, when me and Outlaw, well, I'd say me because he's younger than I am. When I was in my mid-20s, late 20s, we was getting bookings everywhere. You name it, BCW. Oh God, I can't even name them all. CCW. Then I went independent for a while by myself. He did his thing, and then we wound up getting back. You know, as a team, we was always a team because we never wrestled apart. You know, unless it was around here. To run the storyline, but we made a big impact when we come back to Robbie's first organization, which was SCWA, and it took off from there. I mean, we got history here.
Oh yeah, deep history here in HCWA for sure. Y'all been the tag team champs since I've been here in 2019, so 3 years running.
Yeah, we've held the titles. I'm gonna say at least, and this may be undershooting. I'm gonna say at least 6 times.
Quite an accomplishment.
You know,
Amongst many accomplishments in a 34-year career.
you get these young guys who think they're the top of the game and all this. They forget about us old boys. We take it old school. You don't know. They don't know. I ain't no flyer, so you can fly all you want to.
Exactly. You'll catch them and,
I'm
and
put you
slam
down to
them.
my level.
Catch them and slam them. Yep. Yep. The high flyers and the spot monkeys. I've heard people call them. You know, which I guess there's a place for that. That's what you want to do, but you can't beat the old school ground and pound.
Yeah, you
bump
can't.
and feed.
Yeah.
Bump and feed. Yep.
You know,
That's what I've heard.
You know, we come out.
Promoters say. Bump and feed guys.
We come out with bodies hit the floor, and that's the reason.
Oh yeah, yeah. One of my favorite songs is sitting there on commentary. Sometimes I can't help get into the music.
That's it. That's
Santana told me one time, "Stop singing, damn it!" I can't help it. It's in your head, man.
Yeah.
All right, so you already answered this too. Do you have any regrets?
No regrets.
No regrets.
No regrets.
All right.
But I want to go back. I don't know if you asked it, but I just remembered what we talked about earlier. But about me and Outlaw.
Uh-huh.
Me and Outlaw had sent off a video. We had actually got looked at another promotion, a name promotion. I'm not going to call it because it's not a business anymore. And they were looking at us, and we would have signed if I wouldn't have had small kids.
Mm.
That's what stopped me. I was more, you know.
That happens a lot.
Yeah,
in wrestling.
I commend these guys that's on
The demand.
WWF and everything else. You know,
The demand and travel.
But I can't-
360 days a year.
but I can't take a year and go to Japan and not be in contact with my kids. I couldn't do it.
It's a hard lifestyle. Anybody that thinks they know what these guys go through, you don't have any idea the life of a wrestler. I'm telling you that right now. I've seen a lot of stuff just in a short time. I've been in it behind the scenes and doing commentary and ring announcing. It's not an easy life. These guys put their lives on the line to entertain people. They're not a football player. They're not a basketball player. They only get paid millions and millions of dollars to bitch and moan about having to stand for the national anthem.
That's it.
They get out there, they take bumps, they bleed, they sweat, sometimes tears too, just to entertain the fans. So next time you want to talk junk about a wrestler, you just remember how rough they got it and how good some of y'all got it out there.
That's right.
All right, so what are the pros and cons of being in the wrestling business?
Sometimes pros is, you know, if you're well known, you're well known. The cons of it is if you're well known, it's hard to go somewhere.
True, paparazzi or fans.
You know, in our hometown, which I'm not going to say, there for a while, we couldn't even go out to eat somewhere without somebody saying, "Oh, look, there's Rebel Mike. Look, there's
Mike! Oh my God, it's Rebel Mike!
Look, ESO's here. ESO's here." And I mean, it's fun.
Making panties whip and day
Yeah,
one.
you know, it's fun, but you know, sometimes
I see you smiling, Devin. I don't see that often.
sometimes it gets annoying.
Ah, well.
Yeah, you know, it all depends on what it looks like too. You know?
Yeah. Yeah. All right. So, what is your fantasy match? If you could wrestle anybody from WWE, Impact, Ring of Honor, AEW, what is your fantasy match?
My fantasy match that almost come true, it was booked, would be me and Wayne against the Dudley Boys.
Oh my gosh. Team 3D.
We had a booking, and they got double booked. Of course, you know, Vince overrides everybody. But
Yeah.
they was coming to do a show, and we was going to get to face them heads on. But they got double booked, so they couldn't show up. That, just to work with them guys. I mean,
oh man.
I know
What
both of them.
two better tag team wrestlers to work with than Bubba Ray and Devon. I mean, they were smooth in the ring,
Yeah.
man. Smooth. And that's what a tag team's got to be. The two people in the tag team's got to be able to feed each other. They got to know each other's move before they make it.
And see,
It's the same way with your opponents.
yeah, that's like me and Outlaw kept saying. Can you imagine the 3D against a Rebel player?
God, that's money.
Which one's going?
That is money. I can't answer that. I don't know, man. It would be hell. It would be great to see, though. It would be great to see. That would be Hogan versus Andre all over again in tag team form.
That's what.
I mean,
but that would be it. I would like to do that. Just have that match.
Okay, talking about matches now. What are your favorite types of matches? Would you rather have a tag match? Would you rather have a hardcore match, or a championship match? Just a regular, bump and feed storytelling match.
Every time we step in the ring, it's a storytelling match. If you don't have a story, then you don't have the wrestling match.
Right.
That's the way I feel.
Good. That's right. Okay.
Going out, me putting my body on the line as long as I have, and everybody else, it's out there pleasing fans.
Mm-hmm.
If I can't put an ass in that seat, I ain't done my job.
Right.
Whether you love me, hate me. I'd rather you hate me. That's going to make you come back to watch me get whooped. But I'm versatile. I can do technical. I've done some technical matches. Of course, I've done hardcore. But I'd say probably one of my favorite matches of all is dog collar and bull strap match. Because then I'm in control.
All right, like Greg the Hammer Valentine and Roddy Piper.
Yep.
What a hell of a match.
I'm in control.
All right. And what type of match do you refuse to participate in?
I've never refused.
Never refused.
I've never refused.
Okay. Anything you won't do?
Can't say I would. I don't know. I've never been put in that place. If it comes to me keeping my belt, I'll go through hell and back.
Everything goes.
It don't matter. It don't matter if you throw barbed wire on there. It don't matter if you put glass. I don't care. I've had light bulbs. I've been through tables. I've been through ladders. I've come off ladders. I've went through plenty of tables. I went through a table here one time and they threw me through it 3 times before it cracked.
Woo! Ooh, it wasn't gimmicked.
It was not a gimmick table. Everybody says, "Oh, it's a gimmick." No, that ain't no gimmick table.
And I didn't know they had gimmick tables. And once again, I was watching Dark Side of the Ring, and whichever episode it was, they was talking about they got put through a table, and it was the wrong table. It wasn't the gimmick table. So even I didn't know that.
I've never seen a gimmick table. That's just like I see all these fans and everything. Oh, wrestling's fake. Let me take one of them damn folding steel chairs and hit you with it. Tell me how fucking fake that is.
It is not fake. Not at all.
I mean, I dislocated my shoulder in 3 different shows because of it.
If you're lucky enough to know one, talk to a wrestler. Ask them questions. Ask them to see some scars they've acquired over their career. It's not fake. That's the last question I had.
I appreciate it.
Do you have anything to add?
Well, stay tuned, boys and girls, because I promise hell's going to break loose tonight.
Hell always breaks loose here in HCWA. For the Gothic superstar Devin Graves behind the camera, I'm the Lawdog Brent Lawson, and this is one half of the HCWA Tag Team Champions, Rebel Mike. We'll see you next time, guys. We love you. Peace. What's up, HCWA fans? I'm the Lawdog Brent Lawson, and I'm here tonight at Wentworth, North Carolina for Mother's Day Mayhem. And right now, I've got 2 gentlemen that want to come out and say a few words. The HCWA Tag Team Champions, Rebel Mike and Outlaw Wayne Taylor. Come on out, guys. How y'all doing tonight?
Tonight's a very special night for us. We got to defend our belts. But it's cool. We're going to take these belts and we're going to bring them back home. Okay? They're going to always stay with us. But on the other hand, tonight's a sad night.
Sad? How so?
You see, me and Rebel Mike next month will be a tag team for 18 years. 18 years, brother. And tonight, my brother, cousin, my best friend in the world is retiring tonight. He's hanging his boots up. And I've been trying to talk him out of it. Ever since he told me Monday, you know, I've been sitting on it, drooling on it, thinking about it. But I'm looking at you, man. And I'm telling you, brother, I said I wouldn't cry. But I'm telling you, I love you. Thank you for being there for me. Thank you for being there with me. And I love you, man.
Due to some injuries that I received, I have never got. To be in this business, you got to be 100%. You can't walk in 50%. Due to some injuries, I know Lawdog knows about it, Devin knows about it. I just never have healed completely. I love wrestling right from my heart and soul. But guys, on the other side of this, I have a family I have to take care of. I can't afford to injure myself, paralyze myself, where I can't provide for my family. But I can promise one thing. I am Rebel Mike. Always will be Rebel Mike. He's staying, going to fight the fight. Just remember, I'm only a phone call away. And I can make it happen. Blood, sweat, or tears, I guarantee you. I can still wring the wrath if I need to. I just can't do it full time.
And whoever we got tonight, y'all better be freaking ready, because we're going to all balls out. I promise you, this is one match that y'all won't never forget. I promise you. Got anything to say?
I think you and Rebel Mike said it all. A shocking, revelation about tonight. Tonight is the last night you'll see the ESO together. Tonight's the last night you'll see Rebel Mike in the square circle, unless, special occasions arise from time to time. So, congratulations on your retirement, Mike. You earned it. And best of luck to you in the future as a singles competitor, Wayne. And we'll see you next time, guys. For HCWA, I'm a Lawdog Brent Lawson.
We got one thing to say.
God
God forgives.
ESO don't.
There you have it. For HCWA, I'm the Lawdog Brent Lawson for the Gothic superstar, Devin Graves. Just like I said, no telling what you're going to see at HCWA, especially tonight or any night. We'll see you next time, guys.